Assignment 1, Exploring Regional Manufacturing. This is going to allow you to dig deep into the sub-industries and research and understand the manufacturing that is right in our own neighborhood or right in our own region of Ohio. What we're going to ask you first is to select one of the sub-industries to research to complete the project below. Each person must research a different employer. As you select an employer, consider a company that you might be interested in working for, or the products that they produce. Also keep in mind that it's essential that you find enough information to complete the topics in the slideshow. Before you begin, I ask you to click on the Effective Teams paper. This will walk you through effective teaming behavior. As we move into this unit a little bit deeper, we're going to work in teams, and we want to make sure that you understand as you start to work individually and then work into teams, that it's important that you read through these pieces. So if you'll read through this piece on how to be an effective team member, that's step 1. Step 2 is to review creating an effective presentations with the Death by PowerPoint YouTube link. So this link is in your program. We ask you to watch that and really get a good grasp of the product you're about to produce. We're going to ask you as a project to use the internet to explore local manufacturing employees that interest you. You can create a presentation, but do not let anything limit your imagination. You can do an infographic, a slideshow, or any possible way that will produce the outcomes that are innovative, creative, and look good. Your PowerPoint or your presentation needs to include 3 to 4 slides, or however many slides you really need to make this effective. The questions that I want you to answer are: what are manufacturing sub-industry categories? How does it relate to manufacturing in general? So explain how that business relates to the sub-industry. Really give us a good description. Sometimes people take for granted that people know what's going on in manufacturing or within a business. And the reality is we'd like you to be descriptive. Give us the who, what, where, when, and why of that business. What's unique about them? What do they do that is creative or serves the needs of our community? Letter C, what's the primary product of this company? Give us a picture with this. What are the things that they produce? And if you can go back to the raw product they start with, that's a neat way to think of the manufacturing process. What's the raw product they start with, and what's the product they end up with in the end? What positions and careers are available in this? When you think about positions and careers, don't just think about who is on the line manufacturing the item. There are tons of people employed by that manufacturer. And without that healthcare worker, without that accountant, that entire business does not work well. Letter E, who's the company's human resource manager? Extremely important you find their HR manager. We really want you to think about, how do you understand manufacturing? How do you find jobs within manufacturing? And how do we create relationships and build those? F is, what other information do you feel describes the company? What the company makes. So it's critical that we really dig deep into what are the cool things this company does and how do they do it. Keep this to a few slides though. We're going to add more later. We have listed for you some potential companies that you might use in our Northwest region. However, these are by no way a limiting factor to this piece. Feel free to utilize your local chamber and business alliance, or Google any business manufacturers in your area that you might be interested in. The rubric for evaluation of this PowerPoint is pretty straightforward. The first section is based on content. Does the presentation meet the requirements? Is the information in a logical, sequential structure? Does the information on the slides reflect an understanding of effective summarization? Do you have all the pieces, and have they not just been copied and pasted? We all understand plagiarism, and we understand that that is not an ethical process for which to work. So make sure your information is put into your own words. If you do use a picture though, please cite that at the end. You choose good MLA or APA, either style is okay for this, so that you can cite their items that you use. The design category, does the display, you can read through these pieces. They're worth, it's with the animation and sound if you want to use that. Text, follow the 4x6 rule. 4x6 means 4 bullets with 6 words on each line, approximately, or 6 bullets with 4 words on each line. Sometimes we have been overwhelmed with more content on a slide than what we really need. Really think about being succinct and really careful with your words so that every word you use is valuable. And we're preparing you for the business world, so spelling and grammar are extremely important in this process. When we get into the presentation, you'll be evaluated on your familiarity with the materials, how well you spoke clearly, the enthusiasm for what you did, and then we'll work through the team behaviors and the effective team pieces. This is your explanation of assignment 1. Please email me or text me if you have additional questions.